18-year-old Sierra McCoy Griffin and a 20-year-old boyfriend James Guillory are behind bars facing murder charges after a homeless man was beaten, strangled and hanged. At around 8:15 a.m. on the 27th of August, the authorities responded to a call in a wooded area of a homeless camp near Northwestern Avenue and John Kilpatrick Service Road in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and found a dead man from injuries consistent with a homicide. Jeff was Sierra's ex-boyfriend, and there was a disagreement over a dog that was jointly owned by them, the authorities said. Investigators identified Sierra and James as suspects, who were found staying at an unknown hotel. Inside the couple's hotel room, the police uncovered handwritten notes between the couple plotting to kill Jeff. They were arrested and charged with murder. The authorities said that Sierra and James went to the homeless camp and confronted the victim, who they identified as 51-year-old Jeff Strivenek. A witness said he saw James strangle Jeff with a dog leash in a wooded area off the encampment, while Sierra stood by and watched. Police said there are apparent signs of blunt force trauma, although the authorities did not reveal what James used to allegedly beat the victim with. James also allegedly detailed the murder to another person while at a local restaurant. Following his arrest, James allegedly confessed to killing Jeff. He explained that he strangled Jeff on 3 separate occasions in an attempt to kill him. He said failing at his first attempt to strangle Jeff, he tried again after realizing Jeff was still breathing. When trying a third time, James allegedly tied a leash around the victim's neck and dragged him to a tree, tying Jeff to a branch. James said he tied the leash in a manner which held the victim's neck off the ground to ensure Jeff's death. James' father said rather than a disagreement on a dog, James allegedly killed Jeff in self-defense because he tried to rape Sierra. Sierra and James are held at the Oklahoma County Jail without bond. 30-year-old Tashiana Flannery and 27-year-old Dustin Wilson are behind bars after being accused of sexually abusing a woman. At around 9:30 a.m. on the 23rd of August, the authorities responded to the Red Roof Inn, located at 6614 Thompson Road in DeWitt, New York, on a report of a sex offense. The female victim told police that she met Tashiana and Dustin at the hotel, and during their encounter she was held against her will, where she was beaten, repeatedly raped, and forced to perform sexual acts on the pair in front of Tashiana's small kids. The victim, whose name remains anonymous, ran out of the room only in her shirt and reported the incident to the front desk worker, who then called the police. The victim told the receptionist that the couple had tied her up and repeatedly beat her with a baton, and said they were also armed with a machete. Tashiana and Dustin were located in the hotel room and were taken into custody. Each charged with rape, 3 counts of criminal sexual acts, 2 counts of aggravated sexual abuse, assault, criminal possession of a weapon, unlawful imprisonment, and 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child. They're both booked into the Onondaga County Justice Center, where Tashiana's been held on a $50,000 bond, and Dustin's been held without bail. The children were placed with Child Protective Services. The authorities are searching for 2 men after a mother and a toddler son were abducted from a parking lot while she was putting her groceries into her car. The authorities responded to the incident around midday on the 31st of August, located along US Highway 64 in Memphis, Tennessee, when the woman told police that her and her 1-year-old son had just left Target after purchasing groceries. She said her 1-year-old son was sitting in the trolley while she was putting shopping in the car, when an armed man got out of a goldish tan-coloured vehicle, pointed a gun at her and demanded cash. She told the man that she didn't have any cash on her and just to take a wallet and cards, and gave him the PIN number to one of the cards. The suspect then grabbed the baby out of the cart and forced the woman to get into the front seat of the vehicle at gunpoint. The armed suspect then sat in the back seat with her child, and the driver was not armed. The suspects then drove about half a mile to the Regions Bank at 7790 Highway 64 and forced the woman to withdraw $800 from the ATM. They then took the victims back to Target and made them get out of the car before fleeing the scene. The woman ran into the store and alerted a staff member who called police. The victim said no shots were fired and no one was injured during the incident. During the investigation, police were able to find a video of the 2 suspects at a Walmart location about a mile east of where the abduction happened, and determined that they had been there prior to their arrival at Target. The 2 male suspects are still on the run and are wanted for kidnapping and aggravated assault. The authorities are appealing for anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers. 62-year-old Brian Sutton is behind bars for molesting a 6-year-old boy. The incident occurred at around 5:45 p.m. on the 20th of August, when the boy went to use a bathroom at a McDonald's at 600 North Clark Street in Chicago, Illinois. Brian reportedly forced his way into a store that was occupied by the boy and began to sexually assault him. A security guard working at the McDonald's restaurant was able to stop the abuse shortly after it began. Police say credit goes to the 61-year-old security guard who was on duty for stepping in as quickly as he did. Reports indicate that the security guard was suspicious, as he recognized Brian from previous disturbances at the restaurant. When security tried fighting Brian, he fought back. He was eventually detained and arrested when police showed up. The security guard suffered injuries at the hands of Brian in his attempt to free the child from the attacker. No charges have been filed against Brian in connection with the attack on the security guard. Brian is charged with aggravated kidnapping and criminal sexual abuse. He's held without bond.